Hello, fellow people of Earth, and welcome back to Wunu, your weekly Universal news and updates. If you don't already know, I make weekly... Do I even need to do this intro at this point? This is episode 26, so I think you get the gist. So I guess let's just dive straight into our first topic. Yep, construction, and we are back to having it as the first topic of the video. Hey, I am not complaining. So, this week, even more construction walls have been taken down at the site of the VelociCoaster. The first and most major of these walls that were taken down were all of the walls around the perimeter fence that lines the ride. It shows us that either the entrance or exit to the ride is going to look like, and I must add that this actually looks quite cool. When this wall was first installed, people had their doubts on if it would look good, but looking at the finished product, I think I can say that Universal did a good job on this one. The next wall change is that the kiosk that was seen built last week had the construction walls moved behind it. This turned out to be a merchandise stand, so sorry that I was so off last week saying that it would be a reservation stand. Also, when this stand was revealed, it was opened, so you can now buy J-Park merchandise here among many other places. Also this week, the remaining walls that surrounded the bypass that connect the Lost Continent and J-Park were taken down. Just like last week, this does not show us much new, but instead makes us hope that the bypass will be reopened soon. On this site, on the show buildings this week, some painting was also done. This was the addition of Jurassic World decals to the sides of the building. This makes the whole thing look more like it's from the film, and also just makes some blank walls look more interesting instead of looking bland. Speaking of making things look less bland, we can see that this week, by the supports of the ride, the beginning of some vegetation work has been done. These plants that hang over the lagoon don't cover the whole support, but I assume that Uni is either waiting for them to grow or that they will add more plants to finish the job. So not looking at additions for the ride, but instead what has happened while this ride was tested, we can see that this week the ride was actually stalled at the top of the top hat. Now, this was not something that just naturally occurred, meaning the cart was stopped here for a reason. It could be to test something, to wait for something to get off the track. We really have no idea. So that's it for construction, but don't go. We still have lots in my next topic. General news. So this week, general news is a bit all over the place. The first thing I have to announce is some capacity updates. And this week marked Thanksgiving break all across America. So it was basically a given fact that the parks would be full. And they delivered. For the first time since the parks reopened, the capacity was hit in both parks on a weekday. The first day that this happened was Monday, but it would also later happen on Friday. The other time that modified capacity would be hit this week was on Saturday, but since it's a weekend, that really isn't anything we haven't seen before. Also, because of these crowds, the path that connects the two parks opened. However, for some reason, it was only one way, going from the Islands of Adventure to the Studios Park. This week, Universal also announced a date that some of their attractions will be closing for maintenance. These announcements told us that Revenge of the Mummy would be closed from January 4th to the 15th. Hogwarts Express would go down on the 21st of January only. Jurassic Park River Adventure would be worked on from January 11th to the 29th. Popeye's Bilge Rat Barges would be closed from February 1st to the 19th. And that Ripsaw Falls would be out of order from February 22nd to March 19th. So if you plan to visit in this time frame, just be aware. However, even though the Bilge Rat Barges are not closed yet, it seems that Uni has started that early. This week, the lagoon viewing area behind the ride was roped off, ruining the amazing view of the VelociCoaster top hat. Why, Universal? Why? So, looking at things that will also make you ask why you aren't there, we can take a look at our next topic. Holidays! And now that Thanksgiving is officially over, get ready to have Feliz Navidad stuck in your head for the rest of December. So, this week some smaller updates happened, the first of which can be seen at Universal's holiday experience featuring Macy's balloons. Here, meet and greet changes have happened, as Gingy from Shrek and King Julian from Madagascar can now be found greeting guests throughout the attraction. Also, a small alteration was made to the Santa Claus meet and greet. This is that a bench was added in front of him, so the guests taking pictures could sit for their photos. Some last-minute decor was also added, being yarn balls on the spindle warp sign in Diagon Alley and the Simpsons RV covered in garland and other festive things. So, all of those updates are happy and bright, but what will make you happy and bright after being hangry can be found in my next topic. The food that we all know and love. So, this week some stuff has changed, so let's just get straight into the craving changes. Shaw's Pharmacy has changed their menu. They used to sell Ben & Jerry's ice cream, but they no longer do. They now serve Haagen-Dazs ice cream. However, if you do still want Ben & Jerry's, there is in fact a store for it just on the other side of the entrance area in New York. Also this week, due to it being Thanksgiving, Lombard's Seafood Grill served guests a 3-course Thanksgiving dinner. That sounds amazing. Also this week, due to crowds, 3 places ended up reopening. These were the Classic Monsters Cafe, which is still missing its Wolfman banner, by the way, Hop on Pop Ice Cream Shop, and also in Seuss Landing, Circus McGurkus Cafe Stupendous. That is a lot of restaurants. But want to know what else there's a lot of? Well, you can see in my next topic. Merchandise, the topic almost nobody stays for, but whatever. So, this week, more Earl the Squirrel merch was added. This is a double-sided, long-sleeved, tree farm-themed shirts. It ain't much, but it'll make the fans happy. Also, the people who sell this to us got an outfit change. The workers that work in the tribute store Earl the Squirrel Tree Farm section now have their own outfits themed to make them more look like a Christmas tree dealer. It really makes you feel immersed in the story of the place. Also, in this store and the studio store, a holiday experience featuring Macy's balloon mug has been made available. Also, around the parks, plushes of Shrek, Fiona, and Puss in Boots can now be found. So something odd that came to the parks were the reusable Lard the Lad Donuts bag that came to the Quickie Mart and the Island Market and Exports. The reason that they are strange is because these bags are actually from Universal Studios Hollywood, even though this is Universal Studios Orlando. So something that you can't just buy, but instead have to win, is a new Bob Ross plush. This can be won at the Whack-A-Mole stand in Toon Lagoon, and I think if you win this, it automatically makes you a painting god. So finally is the abundance of new things added to the online store. This includes a few lines that are the Universal Star line, Harry Potter Seeker line, and a Hogwarts Express line. However, some other groups of items that aren't exactly lines were also added, being a bunch of different masks, a bunch of new wands. As for new things added other than these, they can all be seen in this crazy collage. This shows Shrek, Fiona, and Puss in Boots plushes, a retro windbreaker jacket, a universal crop top, the 5 retro ornaments that have been in the parks for quite a bit, a Universal Studios shot glass, a globe spinner ornament, a retro tumbler, a platform 9 3/4 ornament, a retro marquee pin, a clipboard, and a magnet set, Transformers lanyard pouches, and sugar quill lollipops. So that's everything that I could find in Universal Orlando this week. A lot happened this week at the same time that not much happened at all. Also, I'm sorry that comments have been turned off on my past few videos. I honestly have no idea why, but I'm trying my best to get them fixed. Also, if you like my content, make sure to leave a like and or subscribe. And with all that said and done, this is Wunu, signing off.